Hey, Hawkeye fans, welcome back. Well, a huge win over Washington this weekend, back in Kinnick Stadium for the first time in 4 weeks. It felt so good to be home. And we've got an awesome interview with Jacob Gill. I can't wait for you guys to hear that one. And of course, we're going to be previewing the game versus Michigan State coming up this weekend. Welcome back to Talkin Hawks, presented by Hills Bank.
No matter where you are in life, Hills Bank is here to help you succeed.
Whether you're buying your first house, saving for your child's future, or preparing for retirement, you can count on the people at Hills Bank for the support you need to reach your goals.
It's easy to connect with a banker in person, over the phone, or on hillsbank.com.
Because we believe banking is better through human connection.
Hills Bank is an equal housing lender and FDIC member.
Hey, Matt.
Hey.
How's it going?
God is good.
Well, I have to start off by apologizing, because there was multiple comments saying that I need to take it easy on you and not be so mean. Do you feel like I'm mean to you?
No.
I feel like, good marriages, they just kind of bicker and pick at each other, right? It's like flirting.
That means it goes both ways, but yeah.
I can't take a single ounce of criticism, usually. And so when I saw those comments, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to apologize publicly to this poor man in his chair, just getting berated the entire time. So I'm sorry. You're a wonderful husband and dad.
It's for show, but thank you.
I'll be much nicer this episode.
On camera, yeah.
Yeah. No, but sorry if I offended you last week.
We're good.
Everybody really loves your long explanations.
Yeah, let's continue. Let's make the other big announcement before we move in.
Oh, yeah. Are we thinking about the same one that I'm thinking?
I'm assuming.
I think so. Which one is it? Which one are you thinking of?
How many are there? Why do I feel like you're about to drop a bomb that I don't know about?
No, I was just thinking that there's a winner for the Talkin Hawks giveaway.
Oh, that's one of them.
Yep. So we're going to reach out to the winner in the comments of last week's episode, which is the one with Jennings Dunker. So if you commented on that video and you're subscribed to the Talkin Hawks channel, we're going to be reaching out to the winner in the comment section. So make sure you're watching to see if you get a comment back. And then we'll tell you how you can get your prize. So thanks to everybody who entered the giveaway.
Yeah, that was great.
Okay, so then the other announcement is that I'm pregnant. Is that the one you were thinking of?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I announced it on social media, just like on my Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, I guess, X, this past week. Mm-hmm. So very exciting.
Yeah.
Adding a third one to the fam. And so all of the kids will be almost exactly 2 years apart. Kind of crazy.
Cool.
Yeah. So there's that. Okay. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Washington.
Yep. Washington.
Loserton.
Oh.
That didn't work at all.
Don't talk about the Sun Dodgers like that.
I know. Maybe if that was their name, they'd be doing so much better. Yeah. But actually, the first the first half of football was very exciting. That was it was like a good football game. You know what I mean? Felt very back and forth, felt pretty even for the most part. Felt like both teams played really well. It was just really fun to watch. And then, as I've said, remember I said this? I think I said this last week or the week before, that back and forth for the first half is cool. And then the second half, I would love to just see us pull away, run away with it. That's my kind of game, because then it doesn't hurt my heart as much to be stressed during the second half. Because then you get through the first half and maybe you're a little stressed, but it's there's still another half of football. We're good. And then if we can just run away with it in the third and fourth quarter, it's all good. And that's exactly what happened. So it was very fun for me to watch specifically.
We finally put two halves together.
Yeah, it was very fun. It was really cool to be back in Kinnick too. The weather was immaculate.
Yeah, for an October game.
It was ridiculous how good the weather was. The breeze was not chilly, but just a little cool. Nice sun. Just felt really good. Everybody packed the stands. It was the stripe game. So black and gold and all that, which is always really fun to see. It was sold out, of course. And I don't know, it was just really fun. It's really good. Good game. What'd you see?
Well, so like I said, two halves put together. Mm-hmm. That's the most complete game I think we've played this year. Full 60 minutes, offense, defense, special teams, no real let up between any of it. And all three phases made a very positive impact in the game. Mm. That's the first time we kind of seen that.
I will say Reese had one really good punt.
We'll talk about it.
Sorry.
I got it.
Okay. We can start with special teams. Let's start there for fun. Just tossed around a little bit.
Fine.
Reese had one. He had a lot of good punts, but he had one.
Well, 2.
What?
He only punted twice.
Seriously? Well, that's great. Clearly, I was doing things during these times. But he had the one where he was kicking it toward the north end zone, and it and as it was going up, and then as he said, it turns over, it turned over, and everybody,
it's beautiful, isn't it?
People really started cheering, which is amazing. And I was like, wow, that looks really nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he had a really good game.
So this is why, I don't want to say I hate the media, but I kind of hate the media, because what happened, he had one bad game as a freshman, and everyone's like, oh, the punting stinks, right? And we had him on the podcast, and he's like, oh yeah, I just want to step back there and kick it. And he stepped back there and kick it. And what happened? Boomed one, 61, and I think the other one was 55. And no return, because our coverage team was down there. Cohen Entringer, excuse me. He was our unsung hero last year in the Big Ten Championship, because we did the punt. He missed his shot and then ran it down 85 yards to make the tackle.
Oh yeah.
So he's making great plays on special teams. Xavier Wongpa is on special teams. He did a great job on punt coverage. They're putting the stuff together. Sometimes it just takes a little bit to gel and figure out exactly what works for Reese. I mean, those 2 punts, bombs. That's the Iowa football way, right? And the announcers were talking, and one of the guys was kind of getting fired up. And the other guy goes, you really like Iowa punters, don't you? And the guy goes, yeah, what else do you need? Look at that, and it's yeah, Torrey Taylor would bomb it all the time. Cooper DeJean goes down there and spots it. Well, now the guy thinks he can get a return, because it's so normally on those far punts, you get an opportunity, but the way that he's kicking it, you get the turnover, you get that hang time. It's a real changer when you can flip field 60 yards.
Did you see Drew Stevens got a tackle?
Yeah. It always baffles me that the specialists, no matter what, have to look at the guy they tackled.
100%.
They cannot just make the tackle and go back to the sideline.
Why would you?
You have to make the tackle and get up I could do that again.
Yeah.
Right?
Gotcha.
It's so wild to me.
He's like, I'm barely wearing pads. Got you.
Yeah. That was a big time tackle. He also kicked the ball extremely well. Weejan had some really good returns. And then obviously we already talked about Reese. We had the blocked field goal early on, YA. Got one of those big mitts up there and just got it. And I think you're 93% likely to win the game if you block a field goal or block a punt, something like that.
Yeah, you've told me that stat before. That's crazy.
The only time that I've ever seen it not come to fruition is we blocked 2 punts against Iowa State, and they still ended up winning 7-3. But outside of that, we were the 93%, which was good. So special teams was absolutely on it.
Cool. Let's see. Where do you want to go? Offense, defense?
We'll go offense, because I feel like there were so many people in the comments that were like, I hope it doesn't take till week 7 for us to click. And I hope it doesn't. This is what I said early on in the year. I said it's a new system. And KF talked about it in his post-game presser. It's a new system, or not presser, but I think he was on the field. It's a new system. We're 7 weeks in. They're starting to figure out who can do what, starting to put guys in position. Dayton Howard steps on the field. First catch is a touchdown, 33 yards. It was great. It was kind of like what they call a Yankee concept, where it's like a deep post and then an over. You just hope to hit the middle of the field, because the post or the go, I think, is what he ran on the play side. Just gets that guy out of there, clears everybody out, and the over kind of sneaks through, finds an opening. We're starting to see some of that stuff, figure out who can do what. Seth Anderson enters the fray again, first time all year, and he catches an over route, goes 30 yards. He did drop a slant, but I mean, there's some things that are just starting to move in the right direction. It just takes time. That's the thing, is that people expect, and maybe it's the NIL transfer portal days of as soon as somebody comes in, you expect it to work, but that's just not how it works, especially at a fundamental program like Iowa, where you're meant to grow in a system or grow with your teammates and grow into what it is, and then it pays off. I'm not saying we're going to put up 40 the rest of the year. I'd love to. We're averaging just under 30 points a game, but it just takes time. You got to grow in the system, but they've also evolved the system. We had a hard time in the red zone. So what do? We figure out Brendan Sullivan has a package, and we score almost every time. He got lucky. His knee was down on the one.
That was crazy.
Instead of getting a fumble. But he comes in, the first play he was in, we ran the ball to Caleb Johnson touchdown. And it's oh, well, Cade could have done that. yes and no. The backside end has to be aware of like Sullivan might pull it, or the linebackers have to be aware he might pull it and run.
Just adds another element.
It just adds another dimension. And it's not anything groundbreaking. It's just another dimension. So as they continue to evolve and move into what people can do and then put them in those situations, it's almost like it was meant to be this way. It just annoys me when people get so angry so quick instead of just letting it play through.
Yeah.
Why are you grinning?
Because there are very few things that you get fired up about, but that's one of them.
Hey, give the guys a chance. Cade played a very efficient game. He didn't we're not lighting up the stat sheet, but he had 2 touchdowns, no picks, took care of the ball, did what he was asked to do.
Yeah.
And when you got a guy like Caleb Johnson, you don't have to do a ton in the air. I think one of our scoring drives was 9 plays, 8 rushes, 1 pass. And it was a quick play. It was a hot read by Luke Lachey. Backer blitzed. Boom. Cade got the ball, threw it in rhythm on Lachey. Boom, boom. Got 7 yards, 8 yards. Like, that's all you really have to do is just keep them honest enough. And then like Caleb Johnson, the offensive line, who I'll get to one of them for my unsung hero. But like, offensive line's been doing great. Everything's kind of coming together.
Caleb Johnson said that he's going to buy the offensive line dinner because
that's going to be a fat bill.
I know. I was like,
having Mason Richmond on, Jennings Tucker, and Logan Jones.
Where are you guys going to go? McDonald's? Just keep it simple, you know?
Go to Konami. Treat those boys right. Get that hibachi grill.
I feel like that's just a really tall promise, but you know.
All those boys are tall too. One other thing that we did a lot of bunches. We tried to help our guys in man, kind of like I talked about on the preview of like, how do you help your guys with man coverage if they're having a hard time getting off press? You do bunches, you do motions, you do all kinds of stuff. And the touchdown that we threw to Caleb Johnson, it was what we call like a mesh concept or like an over concept. All 3 of those guys are in a tight bunch, meaning that they're close to the line of scrimmage. Bunch meaning 3 receivers, 1 guy's on the middle, and I described this a little bit in the preview, and 2 guys back about 1.5 yards off each side. They all run to the left, so there's nobody left on the right-hand side. They were in man-to-man coverage, which means that the guy guarding Caleb Johnson, and they put Caleb Johnson on the backside, meaning that he's away from the bunch. So the bunch all runs to the left. Caleb Johnson acts like he's blocking. Maybe he does have a blitz pickup responsibility, realizes nobody blitzes, and then takes off in the flat. Well, if everybody's moving to the left and the guy who has Caleb Johnson's already on the left, they're running into him. Caleb Johnson catches the ball, goes and scores like nothing. Like, it's just really well designed against a true man coverage, which we knew we were going to see a lot of man. We demonstrated that we didn't have a great get off against Ohio State, so we had to correct that. Did that against Washington, and it paid off.
Cool. Yeah, it was fun to watch.
Offense went up and down. Nothing flashy, just and the one thing, it made me think of this, so I'm going to date myself a little bit here.
Okay.
29 seconds left to go in the half. We get the ball.
Okay.
And like Madden 2003 or Madden 2002,
okay,
like the game.
Yeah.
At the end of a half, you'd have it with like 10 seconds. And John Madden would say on the game, you never know what could happen on a simple toss play. He would say that every time because most guys would take a knee going to half. But we do a simple toss play to Caleb Johnson and he gets like 50 something yards and helps us set up a field goal. And it made me like really think back to my old video game days of like, yeah, it was a simple toss. They were expecting to go into half. Caleb Johnson turns it into something. We missed Reese Vanderzee on the fade to potentially score a touchdown before half, but we still got points out of it. Like that's the kind of stuff that makes a team click and being able to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I think I saw something on someone tweeted that it was like, they just wanted to do the simple, like run out the clock and go into halftime. But Caleb Johnson said, nope, not today.
And he didn't go out of bounds. He fought for an extra few yards. Like it was a good thing.
Yeah. Very exciting. Okay. Defense.
Lights
out.
Linebackers were on it. Jay with 14, Nick Jackson with 11. They were flying all over the place. He did a great job.
Second half, the line looked great.
Well, so the D line had 4 sacks.
Dang.
They were getting after him, and that's not with a ton of pressure. Their D-line or their offensive line was hurting. Their starting tackle went down early in that game. If he even played at all. I know he was in street clothes in the second half, or at least after the first series, I know he wasn't out there. So we took advantage of that. Like I said, 4 sacks, a ton of hurries. And a hurry is basically quarterback getting it out earlier than what we had said. And I said in the preview, you got to get them off rhythm, which is kind of hard in quick game unless our D-line can get there. They did more than just get there. They got there a lot. So really good thing for our D-line. Like I said, linebackers are flying all over the place. We saw some new faces. Number 6 came in on a 4th down. That had been Kyler Fisher, kind of that Sebastian Castro when he comes up, which Castro, they just kind of put wherever because he can do everything. But anyway, it comes up, makes a great play on 4th down, stops it, goes over to the sideline. We saw TJ Hall come back in. You know, he and Deshaun Lee have kind of been going back and forth in that cornerback 2 spot. Both saw reps. So they're starting to get a lot more guys reps and getting them ready, which is good with a senior-laden defensive team to get those young guys reps and meaningful reps, along with those 6th-gear guys out there to help elevate their play. And I think it's really starting to pay off.
Mm-hmm. It's very fun to watch. I just love when the defensive line has a good game because they're spazzy.
They are spazzy. Aaron Graves will lose his mind. I love it.
All of them. They just get so pumped. And yeah, it's just really fun to watch and fun to like watch them all celebrate together. That's always really cool too.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else before you get to your unsung hero? No? Okay. Well then, Matt, who is your JB Roofing unsung hero?
So unsung hero brought to you by JB Roofing is Logan Jones.
Ooh. Oh wait, did you see his thing? Sorry, very quickly. Did you see when he got the like unnecessary reference?
That's why he's my unsung hero.
Oh, seriously?
If you wouldn't ruin. Okay. Oh, be nicer to Matt. Let me steal his thunder quick.
That's so weird. I did not think that that's what it's going to be.
So Logan Jones is the unsung hero for that penalty.
Okay.
Now, I'm not condoning penalties. Okay. You need to be smart about it. But there's something that happens psychologically to another team when one grown man takes another grown man. And not only, like the saying is, take him out the club, right? Like a bouncer would take somebody out the club. He took him from the hash to the sideline because center starts on the hash. He took him from the hash to the sideline, which is about 25, 30 yards because the whole field, I guess is 53 1/3. So divide that by 3, you're at about 20 something yards. So he takes him 20 something yards, but he didn't just do that. He kept taking him all the way into what I believe is their like equipment box, like where they keep spare helmets or spare equipment. Took him all the way out there and then just jogged back, gave Jennings Dunker a high five and went back. The reason that that's so important is he set the mentality for this is what we will do to you all 60 minutes. Mm. And when you have another grown man on your team get pushed back that far, it really does set a tempo and kind of sets a mindset for the rest of the guys. Jennings saw it and was like, all right, let's go, man. Like, this is what we're doing. And they did it all afternoon. Because that was an early penalty. They called it on Jennings, but Jennings is like looking up like, I didn't do anything. I gave him a high five. But Logan Jones driving him all the way out there, set the mentality for this is what we're going to do to you for a full 60 minutes. And they did it. So Logan Jones, unsung hero, brought to you by JB Roofing.
Very good. That was a fun one.
Yeah.
That's a little different. They called it on Jennings?
Yeah. They're like 67. Jennings is like, moving his mustache, looking up like, me. They show the replay. Logan Jones just hammers him all the way out of bounds, jogs through their guys that are yelling at him, right? Because he's on their sideline, jogs through him, gives Jennings a high five. Jennings is like fired up, gives him a high five. Yeah.
That's funny. Well, cool. I really liked that recap. Good job.
You're
Matt.
Saying that for the cameras.
No, I'm not. I'm really not. I actually thought that was it was just a really fun game to recap.
Yeah.
It's always good when you win by that much and then you get to talk about it, you know?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, we're going to get into our conversation with Jacob Gill. This one is so good. I was so excited to have him in. And Matt was mostly excited to have him in because they're almost the same size. So that's always fun too.
I finally looked big in the post-interview picture.
Yes. Anyway, we hope you love this conversation. We'll be right back. Need a new roof, gutter, or siding in Eastern Iowa? Call JB Roofing and Construction, the local and reliable roofer with over 20 years of experience. They do one roof at a time, unlike others who juggle multiple projects and cut corners. They also serve a 45-mile radius around Kelowna and help you with any insurance claims. Don't wait. Call 319-656-ROOF or visit their website, jbroofingkelowna.com for a free estimate. JB Roofing and Construction, the small-town roofer you can trust. Matt, did you know that Iowa City Tire does more than just tires?
Well, yeah. I mean, they've been servicing vehicles in the corridor for like 40 years.
Right. But did you really know that before someone had to tell you?
No.
Check out how they're doing things in a very different way at Iowa City Tire and Service, where service actually comes first.
The Appliance Barn offers a wide range of high-quality appliances at unbeatable prices.
Whether you're in the market for a new refrigerator, dishwasher, or washing machine, they've got you covered.
They also have a delivery and setup department to ensure your appliances get delivered and installed quickly. To find out more, visit appliancebarn.com.
All right, well, Hawkeye fans, I'd like everyone to please welcome to Talkin Hawks, Jacob Gill. Jacob, how's it going?
Doing good. How are you doing?
Good. Do you go by Jake or Jacob?
Either or is fine.
What do most people call you?
Jacob, Jacob.
Jacob.
People from home call me Jake, like my close friends, but
so like you got to earn the right to call you Jake.
not necessarily, but like if you want to, it's whatever. So
Gotcha. Okay. Well, we like to keep it really low key on here, and we like to go kind of like all the way back to when you were a kid. First of all, where did you grow up?
I'm from Raleigh, North Carolina originally.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, Raleigh. So are they getting hit by the hurricanes right now? Or is that not quite that area?
It was just, I had to check in to make sure. It's just like a bunch of rain and stuff right now. Like not a lot of like flooding and stuff.
Okay.
My friends like that go to school in Charlotte, their like power went on and stuff. So
gotcha. Like
winds and stuff, but none of the bad stuff like Florida and all that.
Yeah.
That's good.
It missed them. So.
Oh, that's so good to hear. Okay, so Raleigh, North Carolina?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What schools are there?
Like as far as colleges?
Yeah.
It's like the triangle of Duke, NC State, and the Tar Heels, North Carolina.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll get into your
She's not very good at geography. We'll
I'll admit that too. We'll get into kind of your recruiting stories and if those schools kind of like played into that. But what was it like growing up as a kid in Raleigh?
I mean, it was nice. I'm from like a suburb area. So I grew up like in the woods, sort of like in the middle of nowhere.
So Iowa feels like home.
Yeah, almost. Yeah, like driving through like the back roads and stuff. That's all familiar and stuff. And then, I mean, it was nice. I went to a public school like growing up and then private school for high school, which was like mainly like a football school technically. And got recruited out of there pretty well.
Do you have siblings?
I do. I have one brother.
Older, younger?
Older, by like 360 days. So we're like Irish twins. My mom always say that.
Wow.
Like Irish twins.
Dang.
So we grew up pretty close together, close knit, like sharing shoes and sharing clothes and all that. So he plays basketball at Fayetteville State now. D2.
Okay.
Like an hour outside of Raleigh. So yeah.
Gotcha. So were you into basketball too?
I was. I played it till about like 8th grade. I still regret not playing like in high school and stuff like that. But
so
I played like I can move a little bit. Yeah, I can move a little. We got some runs in like over the summer and stuff with the team, which was pretty fun.
Who'd you play with over the summer?
Mainly like I've been playing with Brenda since we got into college, my roommate. And then like Bean was there, like Deontay Craig.
Okay,
those guys are pretty good.
Was Jay there?
Jay, no, he wasn't there. I heard he could shoot though.
He didn't show up.
So here's the thing. And we talked to almost all of the guys about this because it seems like almost all the guys on the team really think that they can play basketball.
That's usually how it goes.
Like they're so passionate about it. And it cracks us up. Jay, we asked about Jay because he said he was the LeBron of the team.
I mean, I haven't seen him move, so I can't comment on it. But
okay.
I'm not surprised he said that though.
Yeah.
Like he said, well, I guess he probably wasn't here when Tony Perkins was here.
No.
Well, anyway, Tony's actually on the basketball team, and Jay said he could take him one-on-one. And I was like, I don't know about that.
I don't know,
so all these guys have been coming in and saying like, oh yeah, I could play. Like I could probably play D1, all these things. And so we were thinking like maybe we could get together this like Talkin Hawks like charity all-star basketball game.
That'd be fun.
So we've just recruited another one.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Well, Mason Richmond said he's not playing defense. You can cherry pick. He'll just sit on the other side and shoot layups.
Nah, I'd definitely participate. That'd be fun. I like watching basketball a lot too. Probably almost as much as football. So I'm like real tuned to the game and stuff. So
yeah.
Did you play other sports too?
I played like soccer a little bit when I was real young. Ran track a little bit just to like stay in shape. But it was mainly just basketball and football.
Okay. So then once you got to 8th grade, you said you stopped playing basketball.
Yeah.
In high school, what were you playing then?
Just football, and then I would run like winter track, just really for like training and stuff. And then like in the spring, I would do like 7-on-7 and stuff. So for football.
So football is like really serious and really involved at the high school level in North Carolina.
Yeah.
Is that right? Kind of similar to what people say about Texas, I would assume.
Yeah,
Texas
I wouldn't say it's
crazy.
as intense as Texas, but it's up there, I would say for sure.
Gotcha. And you said that private school that you went to was like a quote unquote football school. What do you mean by that?
They like they're playing like a national schedule now, so they'll like go and play like teams in South Carolina and like outside of like the Raleigh, Durham area. So like once you get to that level, you're more of like a recruiting school and like playing at a high level. So like the last few years I was there, we were like in like back-to-back championships, state championships. So it was turned into like a football school, really. And
Did you have to get recruited to go there?
Recruited a little bit, but like, yeah, I mean, like my one of my coaches in like 8th grade, he had like a connect with the school, because I guess like you gotta like apply to get in and stuff. Like it's a tight private school, so I had to like apply to get in and stuff, and like obviously like the football helped a little bit with getting in. So yeah, I mean, it ended up working out though.
Gotcha. Okay. So then you said you did track as well. What did you run in track?
I ran like the 60, and then like I would run like the 100 and stuff. But it was just really to keep up like with football, keep my legs going and stuff.
That's him telling us he wasn't very good at track.
Jacob, is that true?
That's usually what that means.
No, but I mean, like I would do it like one of my coaches, football coaches, coach track too. He was like the main sprints coach. So I would get with him like for the practices and stuff, because he had some good stuff that translated.
Of course.
A lot of the sprint stuff and mechanics translate. And I mean, yeah, like usually mainly the guys that train, like track guys, are the good football trainers when it comes to speed as well. So I tried to get with those guys.
Yeah, that makes sense. And you said that it was kind of like I said, a football school, but did you have other guys on your team, maybe like your senior year, junior year, guys that you played with that also went D1 from that school?
Yeah, we had a few guys. I actually didn't get to play in my senior year because of COVID.
Oh, right.
And I had early enrolled, and they like had a spring season. But for my junior year, we had a good amount of guys that went. I don't know about D1, but they went to play college. Probably like 4 or 5 guys. It wasn't like a huge like D1 school at that time, but years after, like my class and the class after that, we had a lot of guys. So.
Yeah.
So if you didn't get a senior year, I mean, and we were going to get to this anyway, but like, so talk about your recruiting process and when you had a full year taken away.
Yeah. So, I mean, it started for me after my sophomore year. My sophomore year was like my big year. I got my first offer from NC State, which was pretty big, like right after my sophomore year. And then that whole off season is when it picked up. I got like a few like other ACC schools. It was mainly like ACC, and then like some smaller schools in the state, like App State, and like Charlotte and all them. And then, I went through my junior year. It was like a quote unquote quieter year. I was like getting double teamed a lot more and stuff.
Sure.
So it was like a quieter year, but that was our like state championship year, which was cool. We ended up losing that, but it was cool to make it. It was like our first time for our high school.
Wow.
And then like that whole like off season after that was like quiet because like COVID and all that, and like it was like a weird time. And then Northwestern offered me that summer, and then not too long after that, I ended up committing there just because like COVID and I didn't want to like wait any longer. And then we were like going through the whole off season, like the summer and stuff, like thinking that we were gonna have a season. Then it got canceled last minute, and I was like, I'm still early enroll. So it was like, I don't know, I was more like trying to like get to college more than like finish out high school and stuff. I mean, looking back, I wish I didn't rush too much, just because like, I mean, you'll never get those days back.
Right,
like,
you got time.
Friday night lights and stuff like that. Like I wish I could have got a few more of those, but I mean, at the end of the day, I made that decision. So yeah.
What does that mean to early enroll? Like, what did that look like for you? So you graduated early?
Yeah, so I had finished all my credits like that. I want to say 2020 fall. So then I enrolled in January at Northwestern, January 2021, which was weird too. It was like COVID. They had just got finished with the Citrus Bowl or something like that. It was a Florida Bowl in Orlando. So they were like it was just me and Brendan, and the 2 other early enrollees. We were just in the dorms. Like we had to quarantine for 2 weeks right when we got there.
Oh my
goodness. It was pretty tough, and it was like because you know how Chicago is. It was like a lot of snow. It was cold, and it was brutal. It was a brutal time to early enroll, but yeah, that's how it
kidding.
was.
What did you guys do in those 2 weeks?
We didn't really do much. I mean, we had like classes and stuff. We had to get tested, COVID tested pretty often. But like we just hung out, got to know each other.
Yeah,
and did as much as we could. So I just played the game and stuff. So
yeah. I bet you got pretty close.
Yeah,
that's a lot of time
much to do. So
no kidding. And you were staying in the dorms. That's like close quarters too.
I know. Yeah, it was tough.
Oh my goodness. Wow. So then, so you early enrolled. What did that look like then? So were you technically like on the team at that point, or did that? Okay.
Yeah. So once they got back, we started like working out with them and stuff, getting in the weight room, getting big and stuff. And then a few weeks after that, or probably like a month and a half, got into spring ball and stuff. So pretty much like with the team and stuff, you're pretty much just a freshman at that point. But yeah.
Gotcha.
Was Iowa a part of the early recruiting process out of Raleigh? Or did they
No,
come just
not at
later
all.
after the transfer portal?
After the portal. Yeah, that was the first time I like heard from Iowa after the portal.
That's wild.
I know,
Okay, so
yeah,
now
it is.
we're gonna fast forward
Yeah.
because I don't really care about the Northwestern stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, to a point,
That's real now.
to a point. But I
Yeah.
mean, like you're here now. Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
So transfer portal, you decide you're going in.
Yeah.
Like, we talked to Cade a little bit about it last year, and he just said it's like a frenzy. Same with Eric All when we
Yeah.
talked to him. Like,
Yeah,
is it wild?
It's a lot different than being recruited out of high school for sure. Because like going into it, you don't really know what to expect much. I mean, because
nobody can talk to you
yeah,
before,
exactly.
right?
Yeah, so it's a weird thing, and like it was a little bit slower for me. I want to say like once like Sully got offered and then like he committed was when they like reached out to me, and that like got the ball rolling. So it was like I want to say I was in there for like 2 weeks, maybe 2.5 before they reached out.
Was that a nerve-wracking 2 weeks?
It was for sure. Yeah, it's definitely. It's that because like you're like, man, what if I like never play like ball again? Like, because that could be like a reality. Like nobody like the school doesn't have to take you back. Nobody has to pick you up.
Right.
Like, so yeah, I mean it's definitely a nerve wracking thing, but at the end of the day, like worked out. So.
Do you think Brendan got you here?
He definitely played a role. He definitely played a role for sure. Yeah, he was like that man in the middle for us, which was just huge. So yeah.
Gotcha.
That's good.
Yeah.
And so you and Brendan are pretty close.
Yeah, for sure.
They quarantined in the dorms.
Yeah,
You
we've
get
been
much
roommates for the
closer to
past
that.
like 4 years.
Oh my goodness. Are you still roommates right
Yeah,
now?
we're still roommates right now at the Banks. Right
Nice.
up. It's not too far from here.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've been close for a good minute now. So
I was looking on
The Banks. We used to live at the Banks.
we used to live there too.
It was called
Yeah.
Latitude
Yeah.
at the time.
It's nice.
But,
It's a nice spot.
little
Yeah.
spot. Yeah.
It's a
And
nice
it's not
spot.
too like far from campus, but
Exactly,
it's kind of
yeah.
removed too.
Exactly. Yeah. Get out the way a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. So
Mhm.
I was looking up stuff on you and stuff before you came in.
Mhm.
And I saw when you committed to
Uh-huh.
come here, when you decided you were going to transfer, Brendan like shared the thing. And then he put the like stepbrothers
Yeah.
that was like so much room for activities or like,
Yeah.
should we bunk our beds or something like
I know exactly what you're talking about on Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
it's
was super
funny.
cool. So I'm sure he was super pumped just to hear that you were
Yeah.
coming
we,
over and stuff.
Yeah, we traveled up here together from one apartment to another. So yeah, it's been nice.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So then you get to Iowa, and I don't want you to like, obviously we would never ask you to like compare Iowa to Northwestern or
Oh,
anything
yeah.
like
But
that.
do it. No.
But when you got here, like, I guess, do you go on a visit before you commit
I
when
did.
it comes to,
uh-huh.
okay.
Yeah, I came like on a Monday and Tuesday. Nobody was like really on campus.
Mhm.
Excuse me, but I mean, it was a nice visit. It was really nice. Like everything that I expected. All the meetings went well and stuff.
Mhm.
Cohen was my host.
Okay.
Great guy. We went to the Chop House, which is a good spot.
Uh-huh.
So and yeah, I mean, like it was a good visit. It was a good time. So yeah.
Was there anything in particular that like sold you on Iowa, or was it just kind of like, here's a D1 offer, we're going to take it and go?
I would
A
just
Big
say
Ten D1
like
offer.
a lot of the stuff like matched up to Northwestern. Like what attracted me to Northwestern, just like the
Okay.
professionalism,
Mm.
and like Coach Ferentz and like his like how he holds himself and like just the whole staff, their stability, things like that. Just how like Cohen talked about the team, and like just I was just hearing all good things. Everything matched up, so it's hard not to jump at the opportunity.
Yeah.
Were there other schools that talked to you?
Yeah, Fresno State. I talked to them a little bit, and then James Madison a little bit, Duke a little bit. But yeah, I was definitely the most interested, I'd say.
Well, I just say you fit very well.
Yeah, I think so.
Just
Mhm.
not just in the offense, but it just
Yeah.
seems like you totally mesh with
Mhm,
what the team, their values,
for
and
sure. Yeah.
and I always you always say like you can count on the football players to show up on time.
Mhm.
4:30 on the dot, you walked in.
I know I should have been a little bit earlier. There was some construction going on, but
Okay.
yeah.
No, you
Sorry
were on
about
it.
that.
No, you're good.
That's great. That's
Yeah,
great.
like that's exactly what we expect. It's just really cool because it's just the little things, you know,
Mhm.
that the Iowa always preaches. We talk about that all the time.
Yeah.
But when we were talking to Cade and last season, Eric Gall, we were just talking about like the process of transferring and kind of what that looks like. And they were both like, oh, we were just totally baffled by Coach Ferentz. And just like, we just love him so
yeah.
much because we think he's so funny
Mhm.
and like just love like the way that he
Yeah.
runs meetings and all those types of
Uh-huh.
things. Was there anything is there anything, I guess, that kind of sticks out to you about him that you're like, oh man, I really love the way this guy coaches this team or
Yeah,
anything
I
like
mean,
that?
he's just got so much experience under him, and then we always talk about like he always just comes up and like shakes everybody's hands like before games and stuff, and like Yeah. Like it's like
full swoop,
yeah, like I've never like seen like stuff like that because like you don't have to do stuff like that. So stuff like and he'll like come out and like check on everybody. Like he could easily like act like he's like above everybody because at the end of the day he runs the program, but it's almost like he comes down to not to our level, but like makes it seem like we matter more than we do. So yeah, I mean he does special stuff like that, which is cool that other coaches sometimes don't do. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. And kind of that like family atmosphere is
yeah,
another thing
exactly.
that
We were actually saying the other day, it's like almost like not to call him old, but like having like a grandpa, like a guy, like I don't know, like a cool guy. Yeah, almost
like he can be stern, but he knows how to like get it out of you
and stuff. Yeah,
yes.
It's a good little mix. So.
That's awesome.
And the thing is, he sees everything on the practice field.
Yeah, exactly.
I swear he'd be on the defensive field. You drop a ball, he's gonna let you hear about it.
Exactly. Exactly. So,
does your family get to come watch you very often?
Yeah, they come to every game.
Seriously?
So,
all the way from Raleigh?
They one commitment they made was that if we get like me and my brother, we get like scholarships out of high school. They'll make every trip to make sure that they're seeing us and that they're supporting us. So wow. it's cool. Yeah, it was easy like in Chicago. I got family in Chicago, like near the South Side. So they would just fly in, stay with them. And then just drive over to games, and they still do that. They'll just drive to Iowa City now.
Oh, they drive? How far is that?
About 3.5.
Well, no, they fly to Chicago.
Oh, fly to Chicago. And then drive here. Sorry.
It's a 13-hour drive from North Carolina.
Yeah, I don't make that
either. But yeah, I mean, they come to every game, even the away games too, which is awesome. So
that's incredible.
They'll be all the way at UCLA. California, so
that's a long drive from Chicago.
It's a long drive, yeah. Exactly. So,
that's amazing. Does your brother get to come out and watch that often?
Every so often. He has like practice in school and stuff, so it's hard. But we have the Maryland game, the East Coast game. He'll be at that, and then like maybe one or two more. So
that's really cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. It means a lot. It means the world. Sometimes like they bring me like food and stuff too, like some home cooked meals. Can't pass up on that. So
what's something that your mom makes that you're like, please bring this?
It's like rice-a-roni and beans, and then like her and my dad will switch out like making like spaghetti or like pot roast and stuff like that. But always like rice and beans. We've eaten that since I've been a kid. So
you like the comfort food?
Yeah, exactly.
I was gonna say that sounds like really simple. I didn't know if it was gonna be like some crazy elaborate recipe.
I kid you, because like I have an egg allergy, so like all my food is like simple. So I could eat that like when I go home like to visit. I eat that probably like 4 days straight every meal. Like just like spaghetti, rice, beans, and then switch up to like protein.
And that's it.
Yeah. Dang.
An egg allergy. That would actually be really hard to manage.
It's tough. Yeah, it's really tough.
Especially when you're like eating at the complex a lot of times. Because like, well, I don't really know exactly what's in this.
Yeah, it's tough. It's mainly just breakfast foods I run into problems with. But work around it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Probably a lot of like yogurt and things like that.
Yeah, a lot of like.
He doesn't sound too happy about
I've eaten bacon the past 7 days. Yeah, it's tough. So.
Oh man. Okay, so outside of obviously, I'm sure you and your brother grew up like kind of like playing sports together and competing against each other. What did you guys like to do like when you were kids, like hobbies, that kind of thing? Yeah, I mean,
we play video games. We grew up on video games a lot. We shared like a PS4, so we play a lot on that. And then like as like families and stuff, we'd always like watch movies and stuff. Like even when I go home now, we watch movies and things like that. But yeah, mainly like playing video games and stuff. Video games was a big part of my childhood. So
like Madden, 2K.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
What are some of your favorite movies?
My favorite movie of all time is Black Panther.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
Are you into all the Marvel stuff then?
Decent amount, but Black Panther is definitely. It was just like when it came. I always remember like when it came out, like my first time seeing it, getting that nostalgia and stuff. I feel like that plays to like my favorite things.
Yeah.
So I say like Black Panther, and probably like the Friday series.
The what?
Yeah, not old timey, but I mean,
it's like classics. Yeah.
Gotcha. We were talking to, was it Mason Richmond? That he was saying that he loves to watch movies, but the first time he watches them through, he doesn't understand.
He said he doesn't know what a movie's about until the fourth time he watches it.
Wow.
He has to watch it for.
He just goes, "Oh, that's a good movie," and then that's it.
I was like, Mason, are you okay?
That's crazy. I don't know about that.
You gotta check out Mason.
But big into movies and stuff. So
is video games still kind of like your hobbies right now too?
Yeah, that's like that's my hobby and like sort of like my escape now too, like clear my mind and stuff. So yeah, I enjoy playing video games. Yeah,
That was always his thing, Matt's thing too. When he was like playing in college, I'd be like, hey, why do you play video games so much? It's like really annoying. He's like, it's just the only way I can turn my brain off.
No, that's real. That's really how it is. And like with the new like NCAA game now too, like because like I played like the old NCAA game, so it just makes it easier to play now too. With the PS5.
What's your overall in NCAA? 25. I know you know.
What for me, like my actual player, 73.
He knows.
Hopefully it gets bumped.
No, it was NCAA. So my freshman year was 2013.
NCAA they had a game that year. Yeah.
So that 14 was the last year.
Yeah.
And like you could import a roster, like somebody made rosters, you know how like you could import them. I'm pretty sure I was a 59 overall on somebody's. I was just making sure I was on it. You know what I mean?
All that matters that
I'm pretty sure I'm here.
Yeah.
Cool. I turned it off after I saw that.
That's real.
That's cool. What have you enjoyed most about like the Iowa culture? Just even like within the team, the players. I mean, everything kind of runs top down, right, from Coach Ferentz. But what is one thing that you're like, man, I really like this about this place?
Just like the family feel. Like everybody's like close knit. Everybody's like cool with each other. I feel like that's the biggest thing. Like even like the biggest similarity between like Northwestern and Iowa was like just the close knit, like how close the locker room is. And like when the locker room's close like that, like it's those are when special teams like get formed and stuff like that. So I say the culture for sure is within like the close knit of the locker room.
Yeah.
Like we could always go out and have a fight like on the field, but then you get in the locker room and you're chilling.
You're cool, yeah. You dap it up and like I don't know, like just like the locker room conversations, the dinner conversations and arguments and like just getting into it, like it just builds relationships and stuff. So it's awesome. Yeah, it's cool.
Biggest argument that you've gotten into over meals? Like an unserious
some of them,
one.
Yeah, some of them can't say it's too much.
Unserious, yeah.
Probably just like Madden, like me and I don't know, y'all probably Bug, LaShawn.
Yeah.
I don't know what y'all refer to him as, but LaShawn, we get into a good amount, like, cause we're like pretty competitive when it comes to like video games and stuff, and like we play a lot in NCAA and like Madden and stuff, so we get into pretty hefty arguments about that. Just like we get in arguments. Yeah.
We've heard LaShawn has some pretty good like stories
about the
just
game?
In general.
Just storytelling.
Oh, yeah, he's a great storyteller.
Like on Friday nights before games and stuff. Like, we'll just like sit down at a table and just listen to him talk.
Yeah, like we'll be because I'll sit with like the receivers and then the quarterbacks and running backs sit together. So we'll be over there talking and you'll hear like laughter every like 5 minutes. He never fails to make guys laugh. So yeah, he does a good job.
Is Friday completely different from like what Northwestern did? Because now I'm curious.
Yeah, I mean, sort of. We like our off days were Fridays. Here is Thursdays. So Thursdays at Northwestern, we would go in and like and have a practice, like a shells practice. We just
you're talking the padded Under Armour.
The padded Under Armour, yeah. We'd just those. And then Friday we would be off. We like come in for a meal and like then go to the hotel. But here we're off Thursday and then practice on Friday.
So you're humming on Friday.
Yeah, we're going on Friday. And then so yeah, that's a little bit different, but not too different. It wasn't hard to adjust.
I will say I'm a big fan. Like I love watching you play.
Oh yeah, I appreciate it.
Like so we do a segment on the podcast called the Unsung Hero, which is a guy who's just like doing his job.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
So you were Unsung Hero against Minnesota.
Yeah.
For your digging out the safety, right?
Yeah.
Like and that edit that they made of, I think it was Kobe coming across, right?
Yeah, it was him and then I came and hit 12. It's a great video. Our media team is awesome.
But seeing that kind of stuff, like not everybody wants to block like that.
Yeah.
Right. So like, is that something that you kind of have to get on the field, right?
Yeah.
But at the same token, like I see you make some moves in open field too.
Sure.
Like I just really appreciate your game and what you brought. And I don't know how many years of eligibility you got.
I have one more after this.
You have one more after this. I just want to say, like, I appreciate what you've
been doing. No, I appreciate you for that. But I just like try to harp myself on being like a complete receiver and like just being like totally unselfish and like just doing whatever I can do to help the team win at the end of the day. If that's like going and digging out a safety like that, like all it is like just a want to. Like everybody's capable. At the end of the day, you just got to want to do it. So yeah, just being like more urgent with that. It's just like helped me become a more complete receiver, and then that just opens up like everything else at the end of the day. like all the deep shots and stuff like that. And I mean, it helps our offense be explosive. So
I was just thinking like, okay, if he's going and digging a safety, you don't have to talk about this because I don't want to give away Lester's offense. But like you dig into safety, you're in now you fake dig and you run the big V and then you run like over. Like there's so many other things you can do off together. Of it. Yes.
So yeah.
Definitely fits in well with like, I know the West and the East don't exist anymore, but like Big Ten West.
Yeah,
so obviously
exactly.
that fits in well with Northwestern as well.
Mm-hmm.
I will say this too. We said we weren't going to talk about Northwestern, but we were talking to Mason. Again, Mason comes up. But we were saying
he talked a lot.
He did, but we were like what's one of your like least favorite, one of your favorite college camp or not campuses, stadiums to go to? He was like, Northwestern's visitors locker room is so terrible. And he's like, there's a thing, like there's definitely some.
No, that's real.
Some like
I've heard
some mental games of like making your opponent's locker room terrible. Yeah. And like obviously we've got the like pink locker room that's nothing special. It's like bare bones, whatever. But yeah, he's like, that's definitely the smallest locker room I've ever. It's like being in an airplane.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. There's a few locker rooms that are just like awful. It's like the lockers are like this big. Like Maryland's is pretty bad.
See, I talk about Maryland.
Maryland's is bad. Trying to think who else. And then like the grass at Northwestern is pretty bad too. And like,
Thank you.
And we always play like 11 a.m. games. So it's like, I've heard like from other people, like just waking up at 11 a.m. to play on that grass. Like, like 6,000 people there. It's tough. So it's a lot different than like going to Nebraska or something.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Gotcha.
Kinnick?
Yeah, I mean like away games like Iowa,
yeah.
You haven't played at Iowa State.
No, I haven't.
Iowa State's grass.
If you come back.
Awful.
No, pristine.
It's great.
Like the chef's kiss.
Really?
Like that's.
I'm excited to play at UCLA's, the Rose Bowl.
Oh yeah.
I heard they got good grass. No?
Maybe in season.
Really?
Yeah, when we played them, so in 2015 we went undefeated in the regular season, and then we lost by 3 to Michigan State in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
And then we got smacked in the Rose Bowl by Stanford.
Mm-hmm.
Well, by Christian McCaffrey.
By Christian
McCaffrey.
We had guys slipping all over the place.
Really?
But so I don't know if it's different because it was the Rose Bowl, but like they brought in sod 3 days before.
Yeah.
And so then like they just let it sit for just those 3 days.
Yeah.
Because like it's like one of the first or second punt returns. Sorry, Josie. It's like the first or second punt return. Josie Jewell goes down on punt kickoff or punt return, and Christian McCaffrey makes one move, and Josie goes like right by him. Like it was brand new.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's tough.
Like our cuts, we had to be super low. Like my chest had to touch my knees, otherwise I wasn't cutting.
Man. I hope it's not like
so I hope it's better than that.
I haven't played on grass I mean, we got Michigan State too, but
Michigan State's tight.
It is. I haven't played there yet either.
I feel like their fans are like right on top of you. Like if this is the field, like their fans are like
Kinnick
right there.
Kinnick's is tight. Kinnick's is tight.
I think it is too. Every time we'd like talk to people at Big Ten Media Days, all the like visiting players always say like Kinnick is one of the hardest places to play.
It's awful. Yeah. Not awful. Like it's hard to play at because like the sidelines are it's real tight. Yeah.
Right. When you're a visitor, it's a little harder.
Like, it's tough.
The most famous story I knew was Melvin Gordon, running back for Badgers. He used to wear earplugs.
Really?
Because he didn't want to listen to the fans.
Oh.
Which I think he was originally committed to Iowa, decommitted, and then went to Wisconsin.
I did not know that. Well,
I think. People are going to fact check me real quick. But so he wore headphones because like the fans were just giving it to him the whole time on the sideline.
Yeah. Well, they know how to get you too. They say like personal attacks.
They really do. But I think it's hysterical. Like BK would come. So BK was my receivers coach.
Okay.
So we'd be sitting there and like some dude 4 rows up. Talk to him, BK.
Yeah.
Get him right.
That's what they do. That's what they do now. Like it's crazy. Like I'll be going to get on the bike and they'll like stick their like pad out like for like autographs and stuff. I don't know. Like it's tough. Yeah.
And then that's like a weird line for you because you're like,
I know.
I should like be doing this. Like I'm kind of locked in, but I also want to be a jerk to you.
Exactly. It's a tough spot to be in for sure.
But also kind of smart on the fans part. Like,
hey, if I can
got you in a weird spot. First experience playing at Kinnick, what was that like for you?
It was awesome.
As a Hawkeye.
Yeah, it was a great experience. It was my first home touchdown, so like it was pretty cool. Like hearing like
that was the double move.
Yeah, the little corner post. It was cool to like hear like fans like actually cheering for you and stuff. And just like the overall like seeing like against the sideline, you look like straight up, and it's like every seat's filled or full.
Oh yeah, you had the north end zone too. Like, you had the.
I know it was pretty cool. So So yeah, it's awesome. I don't take it for granted at all. Just every Saturday in Kinnick. That's what Coach Ferentz says a lot. He's probably said that in the past, but never take it for granted.
You only got 12 guaranteed opportunities.
Exactly. So that was awesome.
What was the first swarm like?
It was pretty cool. We actually practiced it too before we did it. But yeah, it was pretty cool.
So
I like the tradition behind it too. But
so normally they take like a day out of camp to practice it.
Exactly.
They do that.
Yeah. It's interesting. I mean, it's unique, but it's a cool little tradition behind it. So yeah.
And you guys swarmed over to get the
pig.
The pig.
The pig. Yeah, that
Floyd.
was cool too. I didn't realize how heavy that pig was too.
Did you lift it?
I didn't lift it. I had to help people lift it. YA lifted it by himself, but he was the only one.
that checks out.
But yeah, no, it was pretty cool. Cool experience.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Well, obviously we're doing this interview like ahead of time of when it's going to come out, but you are traveling to Ohio State this coming week. Yeah. Have you played there before?
I haven't. Been my first time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know much about that stadium. Have you heard anything?
I mean, I know they call it the horseshoe, and I've like seen a lot of clips of it and stuff. It looks like a lot more like a professional stadium. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like it's like almost looks like it's a track like behind it. Have you played there?
Yeah, in 2013 we played there.
Yeah.
We were up going into the third quarter.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was some point in the third quarter. I want to say we were up 2017, or we had a chance to go up 2017. Our tight end, Jake Doozy, ran right by their corner who thought he was going to sit on a hitch in 87. But unfortunately, we weren't able to close it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the only thing I really remember from that stadium is like the fans aren't really next to you.
So I'm interested to see how loud it gets.
Yeah.
Because like it does go straight up. It does go straight up. So that'll probably help, but I don't know. Yeah.
Have you played at Michigan?
I have.
And their fans kind of go outward.
It doesn't get,
so I never played at Michigan. Like that's one of the stadiums I never played in.
It doesn't get too loud. And I mean, like it gets loud, but like not like loud, like Kinnick loud and stuff like that. Like obviously they have like 110,000.
I was going to say like they're up there in terms of numbers.
But like, I don't know, maybe it's just something about the stadium build and stuff like that. Usually the more narrow the stadium, the louder it gets. So but there's like just goes out. So
yeah, that makes sense. Do you have an NFL team that you like?
I'm a Seahawks fan.
Why?
Russell Wilson.
Oh.
But then he left us. So.
Oh yeah, because he was at NC. So he started at NC State for 4 years. Grad transferred to Wisconsin before he got drafted.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Are you still a Seahawks fan?
I am. Yeah.
Without Russell
Wilson?
Today.
We played the Lions.
We.
What
is their thing? 6-man?
The 12
man.
Yeah.
No, 6-man is something else. It is.
It's
not a different thing.
You're making us both look bad.
What is 6-man? What is that from?
6-man would be a basketball reference. Yeah. It'd be the first guy off the bench.
We were talking about basketball before, and so my mind got messed up. No. 12th man.
The 12th man.
So that's you.
That's like what Texas A&M tries to say that.
Yeah, they say that too.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Huh. Well, good luck, you guys, the Seahawks. Today.
3-0, looking to go 4-0.
Oh, nice. Yeah. That's great. Do you have a favorite player on the team right now?
I mean, not really. I like Geno Smith a little bit.
Okay.
But I don't really watch like NFL too crazy. I watch like college football, college basketball.
When you have time.
Yeah, when I have time.
Right.
Like this past weekend was a good time to just sit down and watch ball. And then I watch a little bit of NBA too, mainly just like playoffs and stuff.
Sure.
Yeah.
I've always thought that. I feel like most people just watch the playoffs for NBA.
Yeah, for NBA. It's just a long season.
I'll say you got 82 games.
That's a lot of games. That's a lot to keep up on. Did you have a like an NFL player or college player that you kind of looked up to when you were growing up? Try to model.
I mean, I was a Clemson fan growing up.
Okay.
So I liked T. Higgins and all those guys. Like I would go to the camps and stuff. They had like 3-day camps. Me and my boys would go to them. I liked like Taj Boyd and all them.
Oh yeah, that's a throwback.
Yeah, and then everybody liked Oregon and stuff. Anthony Thomas, Mariota, those guys. So yeah, that was my like little era.
Yeah.
When you said Clemson, my mind went to DeAndre Hopkins, and I was like, I'm not much older than you, though. Like,
I said like T. Higgins.
I was like, he's new. Like that's not even that old.
Yeah,
that hurt.
D-Hop too. He was tough too.
Well, I see you have a lot of tattoos. Are there any that have like a specific meaning to you?
They all like have meaning.
Okay.
Do you mind sharing at least one of them?
Yeah, I mean, this is my birthday. This is my mom's birthday. And then this verse out here, Isaiah 40:31 is my grandma's favorite verse.
What does it mean? Or what does it say?
I have it on my wrist right here. It's
I feel like you should have it memorized right now.
it's a
big
long
dog.
verse though.
It does look like a long one. It wraps all the way around.
But they who wait for the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, that's that.
Well, off of that, I'm gonna cut you off. Off of that, like,
mhm.
I mean, you got the wristband. Obviously, you got some tattoos. Like,
Yeah.
how does faith kind of play into like where you're at today?
Faith is like a huge part of me. Just growing up, I grew up like in the church. Both of my parents are just praying parents. And then like I've always like been close with God, but like this past like I said, like the portal is like a weird spot. That's like really when I feel like I took like a huge step, just like in my faith, because like it's like almost like you're taking like a leap of faith,
Right.
getting into the portal and stuff. So it's like just like me trusting God. Like, all right, I'm step into this with God, behind me by my side, and see where this takes me. And then just the testimony to it is just crazy. Just like looking back a year from now to today, I mean, it's just all credit to him, to God, and my faith, and just continuing to grow with that. So it's a huge part of like who I am as a person. That's why I have it tattooed on me. I have the Virgin Mary on the back of my thigh as well, and just blessed down here, and just really just a part of like who I am and like my walk in life. And yeah.
That's amazing.
That's really cool.
And you said that was your grandma's favorite verse too? The one that you
on the
shared?
outside, yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. And then I just got like a little bit of like cool looking stuff to like blend it all in. Some X's and like
Yes.
I got like a tiger right here. I mean, like it like symbolizes like being courageous and stuff too, but it also looks cool.
Yeah. It's got to be both.
I was just saying, you got to go both sides.
Yeah. And then but yeah, I got to finish it a little bit, but
Okay.
yeah.
Do you know what you're going to get next?
I'm going to get something like right here. I don't know what, but it's going to be some words.
You're going to have to wear really short shorts for anybody to see.
Yeah,
that.
I know. It's like a summer thing. Summer tattoo.
A summer tattoo.
Yeah.
What are you saying? It's up that high. You'd have to.
And then I'm going to get like something back here. But
Okay.
Is there a reason just the one leg?
I just like leg sleeves. I feel like a lot of people have arm sleeves. So
It is different.
You know,
yeah, I wanted to
kinda
do
cool.
something a little bit different. Now I want like an arm sleeve though.
Oh, boy.
I heard once you get one, like you're
It's hard to
addicted.
stop. It is,
Mhm.
yeah. But
When I think of the one, I think of Nick Young, Swaggy P. You got to keep the right
Yeah.
for buckets.
Uh-huh.
So, like, you're gonna kick? Is that why this is?
Yeah,
Just leaving this one so far.
Yeah. But,
How many hours do you think you have in that
Oh.
leg sleeve? Can you even guess?
it's got to be like over 24.
That's crazy.
Yo.
Probably like a lot over 24. Like just, I'm trying to think, like just like, I got all this in one session. Like this knee up to the tiger, and that was like 8 hours.
Oh, my goodness.
just sitting there?
For 8
Yeah. I really just scroll on TikTok. It's crazy how much TikTok has control.
Yeah.
So I can control. I can just scroll on TikTok and zone out. But that's sad.
Hey, awareness is the first step.
Yeah.
to change, right?
But like, and then like I'll like my girlfriend came with me one time, and like I'll just like talk with her or like, yeah,
Covered a lot of ground.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
watch a movie or something. But yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that
Yeah.
makes sense. What's your major?
I have a degree in communications and entrepreneurship, and then
Okay.
right now I'm just studying like entrepreneurship and business.
Nice.
Mhm.
Okay, so post NFL, do you know what you want to do with that?
I want to like open a business surrounding like training athletes and like real estate. I did like a real estate internship a year ago in residential, but I want to do more like commercial
Sure.
with like opening gyms and stuff. So more focused on like surrounded around training athletes as far as like just going in and working out.
Yeah.
I know a guy with real estate.
Really?
Matt
That's-
does real
I
estate.
do real estate.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like commercial,
And-
residential?
Most of my stuff is residential, but I've
Okay.
done a couple commercial deals. I've actually got a
Okay.
couple commercial clients that I'm working with.
How long have you been in it?
So this is my 5th year. I
Yeah.
started in 2020,
Okay.
Mhm.
but yeah, so I'm on my 5th year.
How is it? I heard it's pretty like wild at first.
I mean, so I fell into a really good situation.
Okay.
So there's a lot of like real estate. Typically, when you start in, you're like sink or swim
Mhm.
just by yourself.
That's what I heard.
But I got on a group of it's a team of 6 of us.
Okay.
And so, and my boss works with 7 or 8 different builders.
Okay.
So like we always have inventory. There's
Yeah.
always new construction going on.
That's good.
So like I'm kind of in like a bubble,
Mhm.
just like based on that. But then
Yeah.
like actually, my first commercial lease was a guy that worked at Iowa. He was a football manager for us.
Okay.
Then he turned into an insurance agent. And he's like, hey, do you know a spot? I was like, hey, I'll help you out.
That's awesome.
So like, it's definitely like you cut your teeth a little bit to start, but like I work a lot of nights and weekends.
Yeah.
So that's the trade-off.
That's how I've heard. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'll see. I mean, I had like a real interest because like I like the design of homes and stuff, but like, I don't know if I'm like real estate like agent. Like I don't know if that's like who I want to be.
Sure.
But
more like developing.
Yeah. I feel like in like I don't know, like I want to relate it back to like football and things like that. And I don't know. I mean, I'm honestly learning more about myself as I age and get older to see what I want to do after. But yeah, I feel like to start like that's like because I like they always say like you should know like what you want to do. So like I was like thinking like, man, what am I interested in? So yeah.
I mean, you should start thinking about that. Like
not like completely no. But
yeah.
you
But
always
I mean,
like change and stuff.
sounds like a great plan.
Yeah, but I know I want to own my own business one day. That's for sure.
That's awesome.
Would you do it back in Raleigh or would you go here?
That's a good
Where'd you
question.
go?
I don't know if
I mean, there's time.
I know there is time, but like,
where's your girlfriend
tough.
from?
Say that again.
Where's your girlfriend from?
California.
Oh gosh.
I know.
Okay.
So you're going back to Cal.
She has a job right now, or once she's done with school, she'll have a job in Chicago.
Oh.
So she'll like still be around here and stuff.
Nice.
But, yeah, I don't know.
Very
Because
cool.
I got
plenty of time to figure it
Yeah,
out.
I know.
And I know Hawkeye fans are hoping that you come back next year.
I know, yeah, for sure. But yeah, being back home would be nice too. Like after everything's settled down. But
Awesome. Well, Jacob, thank you so much for coming in.
of course, no
This
doubt.
was
Yeah, this is
so
a good
great.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so
Thank
awesome
you.
to get to know you a little bit better.
Yeah.
And like I said, I know Hawkeye fans are so glad that you're here
For
now.
sure, I
myself.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
That's a big fan.
Yeah,
So you got to watch for that the Unsung Hero clips to come out.
for sure.
You'll probably see yourself on there
We'll tag you.
a couple of
Yeah,
times.
tag me.
you're going to get a good block this next week and you're going to be like, oh, maybe I'll be.
Yeah, I'll
Unsung
think
Hero.
about
That's the
that.
first thing I think about. He's like, oh
Think
yeah,
about that.
podcast.
That's it. All right.
Yeah.
Well, Jacob, we wish you the best of luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
And again, just thanks for coming in.
I appreciate y'all. Thanks for inviting me.
Locally owned and operated, Performance is a full-service restoration company serving Eastern Iowa.
As an IICRC certified firm, their multi-licensed technicians have decades of experience in water, mold, and fire mitigation. Whether it's your home or business, this is the team you want in a time of need. Performance Restoration, 319-626-2292.
Hey, Hawk fans, looking for the perfect spot to fuel up before or celebrate after a Hawkeye win? Look no further than Marquee Pizzeria, located in the vibrant Iowa River Landing.
Their wood-fired pizzas have truly changed the pizza game.
Whether you're cheering on the Hawkeyes or just searching for a delicious meal, Marquee Pizzeria is the place to be. Swing by and experience the best pizza in Iowa. Go Hawks.
When it comes to keeping our home comfortable, we trust only the best. Loudon Plumbing and Heating. Whether it's fixing a leaky sink, keeping the house cool, or making sure the furnace runs smoothly in winter, Loudon Plumbing and Heating is our go-to. For reliable service, trust the corridors best. Loudon Plumbing and Heating.
Looking to make a splash online in Eastern Iowa? Digital Boost is your local go-to digital marketing agency. They help local businesses connect with their ideal customers online.
Digital Boost has a diverse client base, ranging from small businesses to industry leaders, including well-known brands like DNR Pest Control and Advanced Millwork.
Visit their website at www.digitalboostia.com to learn more or contact them for a free in-person consultation. Our preview this week is brought to you by Big Grove Brewery. And did you know they're the official craft brewery of the Iowa Hawkeyes? Big Grove Brewery is the official watch headquarters of the Iowa Hawkeyes as well. It's a fantastic place to watch the games, whether they're at home and you don't have a ticket or they're away. They have an Iowa City, Solon, Cedar Rapids, and Des Moines location. So make sure you pop in, have some craft brew. Is that what you say? Craft brew?
Stop.
And then and have like delicious food and watch the Hawks. So Matt, taking on Michigan State this weekend.
Spartans.
Did you play at Michigan State ever?
At Michigan State?
Yeah.
2017. We lost.
Okay. Sorry to bring that up.
Yeah, we missed a deep ball. Had a post over the middle of the field. Stanley just overthrew it just a hair. And then we were down in the red zone. I want to say it was like third down, and I wasn't able to adjust to a ball. So we went up there. They kind of knew our checks. Like if they came in this front, we were going to check to this run. And then they'd check into a check to check us out of a check to check into another check.
Jeez, did they know your guys' signals or what?
It wasn't signals. They just picked up on tendencies, I guess. But either way, so last time to Michigan State was not very good. I do really like their stadium.
Do you?
It felt like the fans were like right on top of you. It felt like it was really enclosed, which I like that in a stadium.
Yeah.
Kind of like Kinnick. Like I love how the fans are right there.
Mm-hmm.
Makes it feel like it's a little bit more like a spectacle.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to describe it.
Yeah. And it gets louder.
And I love hostile fans. Love it.
Yeah. That makes sense.
I don't want you to tell me how bad I am. Like, I don't know why, but it's like so funny, especially when they're like roasting you for something.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway.
All right.
I like it.
Okay. So we've talked about Sparty, which I have said, aside from Herky, I think Sparty is the best mascot in the Big Ten. Oh, also, I forgot to bring this up. I'm going to do it really quick. I can't think of his name. Oh my gosh. The Husky from Washington, not the real one, the like person one. Okay. Was like my size. For real. With all the stuff on. Like not that much taller than me. It was like the smallest mascot.
I'm kidding.
Okay. It was like the smallest mascot I've ever seen though. Like they're all usually pretty big.
Yeah.
You know, tall,
especially
whatever.
the heads are massive.
It's a really small mascot. Okay. So that was kind of interesting. But we've talked about Sparty. We talked about him last year. And I just think it's a really well done mascot.
I would agree. But you say in the Big Ten, but we haven't included the other four.
Oh, the Oregon Duck is really good. It's almost like too cute though. Like there's nothing like angry about it. Like Sparty
like
looks a little
Trojan.
bit angry. I don't know if I've ever seen him.
He's relatively similar to Sparty. Okay. Relatively.
I'll have to look
I don't want to get yelled at.
Yeah, I'll have to look it up. But so we talked about that. We talked about that last season. So I didn't want to bring him up again because, it's just like so boring. So I just looked up some, fun facts.
I'm excited for your long-winded answer.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. Mm-hmm. So before Michigan State became Michigan State, they went through like 5 or 6 different name changes, which we find like that happens a lot in history with these colleges. But going all the way back to 1855.
Is this from their official website? Sorry, normally
I think it is.
You describe your source.
I know. I'm pretty sure it's from the official website. Okay. Either that or like a really strong Wikipedia, which is also possible. But 1855, that's a really long time ago. They were the Agricultural College of the State of Michigan. So they started off as an agricultural school. 1861, they changed their name to State Agricultural College. Then 1891, they became Michigan Agricultural College. Like, guys, just relax. You're just like rearranging where your words are. And then 1925, Michigan State College of Agriculture and Applied Science, a long one. And then 1955, they became Michigan State University of Agriculture and Applied Science. And then finally in 1963, they just dropped it all and they're like, forget it. We're just going to be Michigan State University. So it took them a while, but they got there eventually. This is crazy. Okay, from 1862 to 1865, how much do you think tuition was for all 4 years of college at Michigan State?
Oh, man.
Take a guess.
$4?
$30 for all 4 years of your education. So just to put that into perspective, okay, again, that's 1862 to 65. So that's quite a while ago. But just to put that into perspective, now the average for what the 4-year tuition cost is, and it varies if you're like in-state or out of state, of course, is between, and this is kind of a big range, but again, in-state or out of state, between $123,000 and $230,000.
So you're 40 to 70,000 a year.
Isn't that crazy? And it used to be $30. It makes me wonder, like, what was $30 back then, though? You know what I'm saying? There's no way it was the equivalent.
It was probably a 20 and a 10.
That's so dumb. You didn't even make John laugh, so that's saying
he grinned.
That wasn't a very good joke. It was a good joke. No, but I just mean like, there's no way that $30 back then is the equivalent to $230,000 now. You know
I don't know. Somebody's going to tell us.
It's crazy. And so some notable people, they graduated from Michigan State. A lot of these you're going to know because, of course, a lot of them are sports people. Magic Johnson.
Do you know his real first name?
I actually don't. What is it?
Irvin.
What is it?
Irvin.
Irvin. I would like to go by Magic as well instead of Irvin. Just saying. Draymond Green, Nick Foles, Kirk Cousins.
Draymond Green. That's a fun fact one, too. What sport did he play at Michigan State?
I actually don't know what.
He played football.
Seriously?
He's a tight end. I think he might have only played a year, but he played tight end
Really?
for the Spartans before
I didn't know that.
he became the basketball player.
See, I took over your unsung hero and you're taking over my...
It's not fun, is it?
No,
It's not fun.
No, you're adding some really good
thanks.
some really good stuff to this. So thank you. See how nice I'm being? And also Chris Hansen from Dateline NBC. He was also the guy that did To Catch a Predator. Do you remember that show?
Is he the coming up? Is he that kid or that guy?
No,
Chris
that's
Hansen.
what's that guy's name? From The Bachelor.
I only know that. Sorry.
It doesn't
Coming
matter.
up.
No.
That's all I know.
It's not him. This is Chris Hansen, and he's from Dateline NBC, and he did the show To Catch a Predator, and he was like so they would like catch like sexual predators, like child sexual predators, and they would like set up a meeting time, blah blah blah, and they would like show up, and then Chris Hansen would come in. He's like, "Hi, I'm Chris Hansen," and then they would catch the predator,
Wow.
and that was the show. I think it only lasted for like 4 years, but yeah, it was like kind of a thing. So that guy. A lot of other people will know who he is. Rashad Evans, who's an MMA fighter. Dan, I think it's Gilbert, but it might be Gilbert. I think I might have written it wrong. Written it?
Hold on. Don't just say what he's famous for.
Okay. He's a majority owner in Rocket Mortgage.
Oh, no.
It's not that exciting, but I should probably figure out if I just spelled it wrong. Yeah, it's totally Gilbert. I just added an extra R in there when I was typing it.
Gerber.
You
need to enunciate better.
What'd you say?
So you need to enunciate better.
I totally need to enunciate better. I've been told that before. Sam Raimi is a director and producer, and he directed the Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2 movies in the early 2000s, aka the best ones.
The originals.
With Tobey Maguire.
Wow.
That's the last one. Also, Spartan Stadium had some name changes as well. It used to be College Field, and then Macklin Field, and then Macklin Stadium, and then Spartan Stadium. And it opened, take a guess, and when? When did it officially open?
When Spartan Stadium was opened, or when the original?
This is the original stadium that they're still playing, and they just added to it. But when did it open, do you think?
Well, they were the college in 57? 1855?
55.
18...
Nope. 1923.
Oh.
Yeah, so they just celebrated 100 years of Spartan Stadium.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that cool?
Cool.
100 years.
A Quiet Place.
That's not the movie. I just had it wrong.
Oh.
But you're right that's what the movie is called that you were thinking of.
Yeah.
It's just something else.
Okay.
So there you go. Tell me about Michigan State. Are they good?
First of all, I'm sorry that I spoke as often as you did. I added some tidbits, but I don't want anybody coming after me in the comments. So great job.
Thanks. Okay, tell me about Michigan State. Are they any good? What's the deal?
So they're 3-3. They're on a 3-game losing streak.
Okay, that's not good.
They're 1-2 in the Big Ten. Well, their last two opponents were Ohio State and Oregon, who just had a great game this past.
That was crazy.
This past
right?
Saturday. Yeah, you were asleep. This past weekend.
I watched a part of it.
It was a really good game, even though Ohio State kind of had some mishaps there at the end of the game. But so two really good teams. They also lost to Boston College. It was a close one. They did beat Maryland earlier in the year, 27-24. But they had a bye week. Now they're coming back. One of the major things that happened in both the Oregon game and the Ohio State game is they turned the ball over in the red zone. I mean, against Oregon, they went right down the field, like boop, 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 and then fumbled it at the 1 yard line. And then Ohio State, we talked about that when we talked about how Iowa was going to play against Ohio State because Michigan State had just played against Ohio State, and they fumbled twice in the red zone as they were driving down. So they just have a propensity to turn it over in key situations.
Sounds fun.
Sounds fun for Iowa.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, we've been ball hawks. So they're -6 in the turnover margin. We're +6 in the turnover margin. And what that means is they give it away 6 more. They've given it away 6 more times than they've taken it away. And we're obviously the opposite. They do have a running quarterback. So that's always something you're always annoyed that it's like 3rd and 5 and then the quarterback takes off and gets a first down. So I wouldn't be surprised if we've got some kind of spy. They have thrown it for quite a bit. Kid's thrown for, I think, 500 more yards than Cade, 400 more yards than Cade. They both have 5 touchdowns, meaning Cade and their quarterback Chili's, but he's got 8 interceptions to 5 touchdowns. Cade's got 3 interceptions to 5 touchdowns. So a little bit different there. But we should be able to take advantage of that. I mean, right? Younger kid. Hopefully we've been able to undercut those out routes between Castro against Ohio State and then Jamari Harris last week. So hopefully we can continue that, just taking the ball away. I mean, that's something that we continue to do at a really high clip, and I'd like to continue that, of course. Shouldn't really have to bring a bunch of pressure, and typically you don't against running quarterbacks just because you don't want to miss and then you don't have anybody in the middle of the field. So the quarterback is the 3rd leading rusher. He's got 45 carries, so he's not afraid to take off with it. Like I said, he is a runner. But so we'll just have to be aware of that. Also had 7, I think he's been sacked 17, 18 times, something like that. So a lot of times when they're running back and forth trying to find somebody, sometimes you can just clip them to get them down. So their offense just isn't as efficient as you would a normal. I shouldn't even say normal Michigan State. I feel like Michigan State had the 1 year when Mel Tucker took over and when he got that giant extension. And since then, they haven't been like the Michigan State Spartans of old. Mm-hmm. Is that fair to say?
I think so. I think they have always
like there used to be like a fear of like Michigan State. And
that's what I'm saying. I feel like there's always been this in my mind of they're like a powerhouse.
Which
like
when I played, they were
consistently good every single year. It doesn't matter who they lose in terms of like graduation or whatever it might be. Like they're going to be good again. Like there was just always that.
And it was one of the 4. It was them, Michigan, Ohio State, and Penn State. Like those 4.
They all sit on the same side.
Yeah. And so like they were all going to beat up on each other to figure out who would be the East representative.
Yes. And so I guess that's why I was, at the beginning when I was like, so are they good or like what? Because I just assumed that they are, honestly.
Right. Mm-hmm. Which is normally a safe assumption, but it's been a little bit different the last couple of years.
Gotcha.
Defensively. So anyway, for our defense, we just got to keep things in front of us, be opportunistic. Both, I think they fumbled 10 times total, 6 they've lost. So be opportunistic. Our guys are really good at punching the ball out and being opportunistic. Obviously in the pass game, 8 interceptions in 6 games, 6 games or 3-3, 8 interceptions in 6 games. Like we got to be able to capitalize on that to set our offense up for short fields. Mm-hmm. Special teams wise, they're pretty decent. Kicker's 9 for 9, hasn't missed yet, made a 50-yarder. He did miss 1 PAT. I didn't know if it was blocked or not. But so that's the only thing he's missed. Otherwise he's pretty consistent, been a pretty good kicker. So, hopefully YA can get another one, but I'm not going to bank on a blocked field goal every week. Shifting over to their defense, historically they're a quarters coverage team, and I've gone over that a little bit where basically corners and safeties all have a quarter of the field. There's 4 DBs, so they all cover, like I said, 1/4 of it. Usually that means that your safeties are your fill players. That's your run support. Personally, as a receiver, I like that. Not in the run game so much because I got to block somebody that's way heavier than me, but I like it in the pass game because it turns into off man really quick. And I like off man because usually I can kind of set up and boom, boom. It's really good for big post concepts. It's really good for if you get like a drag by or what we would call a basic, but in at about 12 yards, that safety clamps down on that. And then you run a big post on the outside. So it's true one-on-one. Wouldn't be surprised if we see something like Seth Anderson driving deep. We haven't really pushed the ball down the field. I'm waiting for that to become more of the offense. You know, they're starting to click really good. So I'm waiting for more of that, as well as we're going to have to dig out those safeties in the run game, leave Caleb Johnson one-on-one with corners who are historically not near as good in tacklers, which we continue to see. He's almost at 1,000 yards. He'll be at 1,000 yards coming up. So that kind of stuff is really cool for as long as we get to that second level. You know, I mean, their defense hasn't been stout the last couple of weeks. They've also gone up against some powerhouses, but we're going to have to be efficient again, take control of the ball. Even though they lost by 30, I think, to Oregon, they still possessed the ball 29 minutes. Like it's not like it's going to be it's not like they're just going 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. They move the sticks a couple times and then they punt. They do something to stop their drive. As long as we don't beat ourselves on offense, which I don't foresee us doing. Do some more boots, get Seth Anderson involved, keep Caleb Johnson healthy, keep him running the football. Do those kinds of things, and we'll continue to push forward.
Cool. I think it's supposed to be, the weather's supposed to be pretty nice. It's been very rainy in Michigan lately.
Well, that helps us running the football.
It does. It does help. I only know that because I literally looked at the weather just a couple of seconds ago. So there is like a little chance for rain, but should be like mid 70s. Not too terrible. You got to pay attention to the weather. It makes a difference.
There is one thing that we didn't bring up in the preview that I feel like we should.
I already know what you're going to say. What is it?
It's KF.
Yeah, I know. 200 wins. I thought about it as you were talking.
Coach.
Yeah, congratulations to Coach Ferentz. 200 wins. That's insane.
Yeah.
How many of those were you a part of? Do you know?
So
because it's 200 career wins.
So between 2013 and 2017, in the realm between 40 and 45.
That's so crazy. That's a lot of wins for like just you to be a part of.
Yeah. 8, 7, 12, 8, 8, something like that. So
dang. Well, when you play for 5 years, I guess hopefully you're a part of. But I mean, that's just it's just really amazing. I think, let's see, this says it here. It's the second most as a coach in the Big Ten.
Yeah, Woody Hayes is 205.
Really? Oh man, so he could pass that this year? How many games? Yeah. Because we still have 3 more home games left and then a few more.
So we're sitting at 4-2. So we have another at least.
We've done so much.
We've got another 6 games for the regular season and then bowl games. Stop it.
I'm sorry.
Stop it.
You just brought up so many numbers and it's just very funny.
Actually, I would have been a part of more now that I think about it with bowl games. This is devolving into chaos over math. So leave it at that.
It's somewhere between 40 and 50 when you're
somewhere between 40 and 50
when you're including bowl games.
Yeah. That's
incredible. Congratulations to you and your teams as well, Matt, for being a part of that many of KF's wins.
Yeah, Coach Ferentz, pretty cool.
Yeah, shout out to Coach Ferentz. That's really incredible.
Jay Higgins said they had a pretty good celebration.
Did you see it?
No.
Oh, they did a video of it. It was so cool. Well, of course, he's like so proud of you guys. He's getting emotional. All the like standard KF as we know him now, which is different than how he was, but he's getting emotional and all the players are just like locked in listening to him. Yeah, you already know. And then Jay's like, hey, like 200 career wins for Coach Ferentz. We're going to give him the game ball, which just like, here I am crying about it. And he like takes it and he's like, now let's go crazy, or says something like that. He's like, something like, I don't know what he said, something like that. And everybody, of course, takes their water bottles and it's like doing this and hugging Coach Ferentz. And it was just really cool. You know what I love about Coach Ferentz? He doesn't try to dance with everybody else. He just stands there, enjoys the moment. Not just stands there, but like hugs the guys, enjoys the moment. Some of those coaches that try to get in there and dance, I'm like, cringe. I know that guys really like that though. And like, they probably think it's cool, but you're not going to get that out of Coach Ferentz.
You know what I really love? Is like in the pros, if that happens, it's like champagne and wine and like all that. And I love that in college, it's water. It's just water bottles. Like it's so innocent for such a major accomplishment. It's so cool.
Cleaning that up has got to be just a little annoying though.
You think Greg is in there just,
again,
well, I guess he retired, but
yeah.
Either way,
taking over.
Shout out Greg Morris.
Another win. I got to clean all this up. It's like they love winning. Water. Well, I know, but I'm just saying like, they love winning at the same time. Like, I'm going to be here so much longer to clean all that up.
The guys pick up after themselves.
I'm sure they do. But yeah, very exciting. Really, really, really cool. And it was cool to see how many like alumni, the 2004 shared Big Ten championship team all got reunited this weekend, which was really cool. Jonathan Babno was the honorary captain, sweetest man I think I've ever met. Large, sweet man.
You played in the league for 12 years.
12 years with the same team, with the Falcons. Mm-hmm. Pretty amazing. And he played with my brother-in-law. Do you call that your brother-in-law too?
Yeah.
Yeah. Played with our brother-in-law in those years as well. So anyway, really cool. And like he described it, he's like, it's just really cool to see all my teammates that I played with in those years, because we just like that year we went through so many like hardships and this and that, and just to see all of them again to like all get back together was really special. So anyway, really cool. In a couple of years when you get back together with the 2015 team as an old man, then you can experience the same thing.
Thanks.
No. Very exciting. It was just overall a really great week for Hawkeye football and for the program. So
I agree.
Very cool. Well, Matt, I don't think I have anything else. So I guess I will just do this. Make sure that you guys are subscribing to the Talkin Hawks YouTube channel. I know a lot of you are still watching on the Estella's channel, the Taco-Bout network, which is great. But we do have all of our extended full interviews over on the Talkin Hawks YouTube channel. So just type it in, Talkin Hawks, find the channel, make sure you hit subscribe. And also make sure you're following us on Instagram, Facebook, X/Twitter, and TikTok if you have it. And the last thing is, for the winner of our Talkin Hawks giveaway, that is going to be over on the Talkin Hawks YouTube channel. So if you left a comment there, watch for a comment from the Talkin Hawks channel that's going to tell you how to get your prize. Okay, thanks for tuning in, and go Hawks.
Go Hawks.